Hello everyone, my name is Steve. I want to welcome you to my YouTube channel. So this video is, I would like to say it's a makeup video for what happened last night in Google Hangouts. So my apologies on that. I had, reformatted my computer, reinstalled Windows, and unfortunately everything was not where it was supposed to be and things just were not working. I spent the last several hours reorganizing everything, relocating everything, getting mostly everything to work. So I'm happy to say that even C64 Studio is now working, and I'll demonstrate that real quickly here. I actually have it running in the background right here. So if I just kind of move my little Xbox, you'll see that C64 Studio is now intact. So I can kind of move through it. This screen right here, the reason why it looks like this is I was taking somebody's advice in trying to find a different, faster way of loading screens. I didn't want to make this a total video dedicated to C64 Studio. This is actually going to be a Loadstar video, but maybe I'll show it to you at another time. But really, I just went in here. Let me find it real quick. Right here in the Draw Sky, replace the Draw Sky 1 routine with this new routine that reads from page 0, but unfortunately it just doesn't work right. So it's actually reading directly here from a byte file. So anyways, at least we know it's working. So if I stop this, I'll prove it to you. Stop it, press start, and it loads. So we're good. Okay, I was going to do some rastering on it, but I haven't got that working yet. So yep, so happy to show that. What the big thing is here is what you're seeing in the background. And let me just reload it here. I'm using a TVCenter Pro, and I've got it hooked directly up from my computer. It's a little device that you get from Pinnacle, and it plugs into the back. It's a USB plug-in, and I've had this thing for years. But anyways, I plug it into my computer, and I run that thing all the way into a coaxial, and I'm running the coaxial back out to the TV, which is where it's picking up the picture. And I have it also running in through the DTV to pick up the channel. So I can demonstrate, or show you the actual application. It's right here. Well, you were seeing the other one. This is the TV window, but this is the actual settings for it. And this is how you kind of scan the channels and everything. I think I've showed this before, so I won't go over this a lot. TV channels, it currently picked up 2. I only needed it to pick up the 3, so I didn't really care about the rest. The main thing is I got it working. It's got some little lines in it. I can't figure out how to get rid of those yet. We're just going to deal with that because of the, I don't know. I mean, if you look at the background here, it's perfectly clear, but over here it's got the little lines. So anyways, you get what you take, I guess. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and show you the Loadstar stuff here. So this is actually one of the first issues for Loadstar. I don't know what year this one was. Let me just look at this. It says on the disc. This is the actual disc in case you want to see. And these are the programs on it. How well that's going to come out. Anyway. Doesn't say on the disc. I could probably find it in the program actually. Let me see. Go find print here. Take a magnifying glass to read that. It's a registered trademark. Softdisk. I knew I should have got my glasses. I'm going to go grab my glasses real quick. So let me just load this, and I'm going to go grab my glasses so I can kind of read this stuff. I'll be right back. Better. Okay, so press space bar, and press space bar, and let me see if I can read that title now. Believe it or not, I'm actually not nearsighted, I'm actually farsighted. So I have to actually hold the disc out like this to sometimes read it, but I don't think this is going to work. Anyway, let's just go ahead and put that back in there, press space bar. You can kind of see how much Loadstar charged $39.95 for their issues, and for 12 monthly issues you can see it was $69.95. Alright, spacebar. I haven't mentioned it yet, but you know, these are my Loadstar discs here, and these ones go up to like from 0 to 50 or whatever. And I have some down here. There's a whole stack right here, and then there's another stack right here, of course. So there's plenty of discs and plenty of programs to go over for those who are curious and want to see them. If I do a series like this, guys, seriously, it would probably take me, I would even say, a year to go through all these. If I'm especially doing like one, I'd have to do one a day, because there's over at least, let's see, this one, actually the last series went up to like one, let me see, these are actually out of order, I just noticed. Oh no, actually it's this one. These are the older ones. So it goes all the way up to like 160 something, I think it was. 164 I see there. So anyway, to kind of give you an idea of how many discs. I mean, I don't have the complete collection, but I have pretty much close to the whole collection. There's a lot of missing ones I didn't get. Anyways, you can see this is one of their first menus. They have the cover page. You just hit the key. In those days, you just, everything was, you know, responding to keys rather than, you know. They even have a picture on it. And the music. I guess it's just sound. So that's all that was for, was the cover page. And then you have the paperless pages. Keep in mind this is the very first issue, first disc subscription. I'm dating this one myself probably to be around probably like 88 or 89. Might be actually maybe 87 or something, because that's about when I first heard about them. And at that time, my first issues were like in 100, so it might have been before that. So if they were doing one once a month, it was probably like something around there, like 87 or 86. And then here's their little menus. So start gap is kind of the stuff that they talk about. And just hit enter or space. Joystick to scroll through. Oh, it's actually got the joystick hooked up. So got my little joystick and it's a neat port. It's kind of interesting. They switch ports. The later series use the other joystick, but this one uses this one. There's the loud music. Here's their promotions. Talk about the networks. And here's where we get the programs from the subscriber. In those days, you actually had to return the disc because it cost them more money to actually buy the discs, I believe it was. So they would ask people to kindly return the discs, and then they'd pack them with new one. Kind of like what Redbox does. That one. Just kind of show you what's on these. Name What's It contest. They must have had another disc before this one, although this one does say disc 1. I don't know where this contest came from. Oh, it was a contest between themselves, look. I think so, because congratulations, Jeff Hinch, for the programs completed on the Loadstar will be called the payload. I'm going to turn off the sound for now. And X. Yeah, it's going to make me reload it. Oh, is X or quite cute? Okay, I hit the wrong one. Okay, so here we go. So he's the one that they ended up called Loadstar. The programs completed Loadstar would be called the payload. And they actually gave people money for their ideas. Look at that. Interesting. I was really interested too, and that's why it took me a year to create a program, a text adventure that I sold to them many years later, called Quest for the Mad Bomber, because they were paying you money for stuff, as you see here. In the earlier days, they paid you a lot more, but I remember they told me one time I was supposed to get $500, but they didn't have the budget for it, so they ended up giving me $350, which in those days was like 2 paychecks, so it wasn't too bad, I guess. So let's see here. Excuse me, man, just keeping track of my time here. I wish they had a clock on the screen. It's been like 12 minutes. Okay, not too bad. Oh, look at that. Apple was actually introducing the Macintosh at the time. I like how they kept up with the industry. And there's Commodore. The first voice synthesizer. I think the SX64 was that bigger disk drive, if I recall. $995, wow. Of course, the 1541 was the more popular one. And more economical one. More affordable. There's their magic voice. soft code. First annual SoftCon software convention. Interesting. And that's where Loadstar originated, New Orleans, Louisiana. I think that was their home. That's where SoftCon software was. They were in Shreveport. I don't know if they were always in Shreveport, but that was their city. It's actually the same one. I'm pretty sure this one doesn't have any programs on it, since this was their first issue. Kind of their introduction. Kawasaki synthesizer, interesting. Like one of their CAD applications or something. Computer-aided design, I think. Floor plans, illustrations. Huh. It's interesting just to see how everything evolved in those days with the Commodore. Handling depressed feelings. Interesting. I mean, you can imagine at a time Commodore 64 being capital of the world, so everybody was using it, from psychologists to doctors, engineers, just everybody who could. I mean, it was a leader, undisputed computer in the entire world. So, I mean, there were a few others out there, of course, like the Apple, as we saw earlier, Macintosh. But the personal market was, taken by Commodore. Atari was still out there too, but Commodore was the leading undisputed leader. Roll-up pad. Do's and don'ts. A whopping 4K of RAM. Hmm. The 2040 dual floppy disk drive. Interesting. The evolution. CBN. Whoops. Don't know why that popped up. Oh, tried to print something out. So this might be a boring one, but keep in mind, I'm pretty sure there were no programs on these. Because the programs were all contribution. So people had to send in the programs, and that's how they evolved. Very common in those days. We're at 23 minutes. Might have lost the audio, hopefully not. We're almost done. Is that the same thing? I keep closing it, sorry. I kept thinking it was the same thing, but it says part 2. Oh, look at that. 2 years later, Commodore invented the Commodore 64. Never heard of one of those. That's funny. going to start on their second issue, a 1541 tutorial. Interesting. Let's save and replace. I guess that's it. Let's preview. Introducing some more programs, new music. Currency exchange calculator. I think I might have this too. Let me see. No, I think I had this too. Chemistry drill. I like how they kind of promoted everything to kind of tell people, you know, what was coming and what to expect and stuff like that. That's essentially it for this. I know this one was just mostly about reading it, but you could kind of see how Commodore evolved and some of the machines they came out with during that time, some of the issues that they were confronting, some of the companies that existed, and, you know, shows that were present. It was a pretty interesting time, you know. So anyways, this is the first issue of Loadstar, and I'll continue on. The next one I have is like this 9. I don't have this 2 through 8, fortunately. So I'll just go through the orders I have them, and we'll eventually come across some programs. There's games in there, utilities, in a much later series like this one, for example, like in the hundreds or whatever. I mean, I know it's a long way away. There's machine language stuff. So anyway, I just thought that, you know, I would introduce that to you and just kind of see what you guys think of the Loadstar. And if you're interested in seeing more of this, I have plenty of Loadstar discs. I'll still be putting up the, to kind of explain what's going on, I'll still be putting up examples for the C64 Studio demo game in progress, so to speak. So you saw that demonstrated earlier, so that's all still intact and ready to go. Still a lot of work with it. I'm not sure where I'm going to take that right now. But anyways, I just thank you guys for watching, and please like and subscribe this channel. And yeah, this is Steve Morrow signing off. You guys take care of yourself.